Welcome one and all, I'm Decoy, back with another crazy camp, and this time we're checking out Vault Fam's build. And at first glance, from a distance, this one kind of got me. Because one of my first thoughts with all these different little sections was, kind of feel like I'm looking at like an advent calendar or something. But once I got talking to him, he said, way back when, there was a challenge, and I can remember this. It was the 1x1 challenge where you just tried to build something in one foundation space. And I actually kind of messed around with that a little bit way back when, but he enjoyed it so much that he just decided to go all out and do a bunch of different 1x1s. Basically to showcase all these different Atomic Shop themed items. So, yeah, I guess once you start theming out all the different types of things, it adds up real quick. And before you know it, you've almost got an advent calendar of sorts. Make our way up top. Now, one thing I will say that I kind of wish he had the budget for, and I know he didn't, was instead of having to walk through the upper rooms, if there would have been like a half floor just on the outside so that you could walk through and look at everything without actually walking through every room. Because the only way to really get to check everything out is you got to kind of walk through, do a U-turn, and then walk back. It's either that or you stand in the room and you do a 360. But I gotta say, I've been to a lot of camps, and I haven't seen anybody attempt to do 1x1 on this scale. This is just, it's pretty darn crazy. And I got stuck. So, I award bonus points every now and then. I'm gonna dock points for having a spot where I got stuck. And don't feel bad. I dock points for myself when I pull that. Alright. You gotta walk through something. Ah, crap, I got stuck. I'm gonna have to tweak this. So now up here on the top, of course, we'll walk through, but way at the end, he threw in his vending machine. That way people gotta work for it. Unless they jetpack up. And that's cheating. Alright? You're supposed to walk through. Now up here, luckily nothing to really get stuck on. So we'll be able to do a 360, walk back, see what we passed. Now we do have multiple shelters to go in and look at. And to be fair, he had every shelter. And yeah, if I recorded all the shelters, we would be here quite a while. But I did kind of work it out to where we've got an entry shelter to check out. And then I picked out one shelter that I really wanted to share. And I let him pick out one that he wanted me to share. So, at long last, let's make our way into the shelters. So right now we're in the little entry shelter. And my first thought is, I'm really surprised that I don't see more shelters actually built to look like a shelter. I know it's a weird thought because I know back when they came out, that was kind of the thing. But now, I don't know. I don't run into any, or at least I don't often run into shelters built up, fully geared towards, no, this is definitely a shelter. And with all the balloons everywhere, I'm kind of getting like a Reclamation Day flashback of when I came out of the vault. So now, tucked away back here, behind the vault entrance, almost makes me think of Nightmare Before Christmas, where there's all the different trees you can go into, the different areas. But he's got all his shelters back here. And I went through all of them. Like I said, I picked out one. My choice is that one, but we're going to hit it last. We're going to start with his choice right here, where we've got a Halloween-themed shelter, or a spooky-themed one. So I like the use of having like the tall dead grass over here. It gives it a decent look. But one thing that's kind of entertaining is, assuming people are running through here, if they don't take the time to walk off into the grass, they're going to completely miss that hidden over here is an overgrown graveyard, just kind of tucked away. So I enjoy little things like that where, oh, there's a little something hidden over here. You just got to work for it a little bit. Let's get this gate open and head on in. So remember to close it. Pretty big on that. If you open a door, you should probably close it because it's the thing to do. Work our way around. Of course, over here, we've got a couple spots with mannequins in the window. And then the fortune teller machine looking pretty darn good. That one kind of got me right there where you got like the Liberator lamp merged into the Scarecrow. That one's kind of weird. Now, one thing that is pretty creepy and kind of neat is right there by the TV where he's got the Scarecrow up behind it. That looked pretty darn cool. But now let's make our way into the house and see what's going on in there. So, I don't know why, but like one of my first thoughts when I walked in here was Ghostbusters. Which is weird, because it's not like there's like a stack of books going all the way to the ceiling. Because, you know, people don't stack books like that. But the floating chairs, that's a nice touch. Helps with the whole spookiness. And I gotta say, overall, the house is decorated pretty darn well. Now, when we make our way upstairs, he said that by the time he got up to this area, he was pretty much maxed out on budget. So he didn't have a whole lot left to decorate with. But on some level, it kind of works, because I tend to think more of like an attic. Attic? There we go. I'm sorry. It's super late at night, and my brain's just kind of shutting off a little bit at a time. But yeah, so I was like, you know, up in the attic, there's not like a whole lot going on normally. So maybe that does kind of work. Now, to the basement. Now, what would be going on down in the basement, you say? Creepy stuff, because it's a Halloween build. Now, one thing that I really do enjoy is off on the side where the porch is at. The bottom part of that foundation looks really good. But now, at long last, we'll get to my pick for the shelter. So we've got a little amusement park of sorts down here. I like his little ticket gate entrance. That's pretty darn nice. Now, the first little room here, space themed, it's not anything overly special, but there are definitely things in here that are really cool. We just got to get to them. Now, straight across from here is his prize wall of sorts, and wow, you can definitely tell that a fair amount of budget went into the prize area, because there is just all sorts of goodies over here. He spared no expense. Now, off behind this, we have the concessions area, which is a nice touch. Didn't look half bad. You got all your fruit bowls and stuff back here. It's a rather healthy concession stand. Now, one of the things that's really darn interesting is just off beside this. There is a ball pit. And I don't remember the last time I've seen someone build a ball pit outside of when I built one in Fallout 4. And oh my god, I love that. I made a video of it, and it was called The Kid Cannon. And if you haven't seen that, I highly suggest digging through the Fallout 4 playlist and finding the Kid Cannon video. It's not long, but oh my gosh, it is so special. You will not regret watching that. Then right beside it, we've got the bumper cars, which is the other thing that is really freaking cool. You've got a little pressure plate here that triggers all these Tesla traps. And it just really helps sell the overall bumper cars look. It is so freaking cool. Though, probably not the safest ride to be on. There's a risk of electrocution. Probably ought to make people sign a waiver before they ride it. But yeah, I love that idea. And I kind of kick myself for not thinking of building bumper cars, because now that I see it, there's not really a whole lot to it. It's just a brilliant idea. You got the rock wall over here, and right beside that, we've got a little arcade setup where he's built every different little ride that we have thus far, as well as the little shooting games. But overall, a lot to this. I really love the bumper cars and getting to see the ball pit. Pretty crazy camp, especially with all the 1x1s on the outside. But that's going to wrap up the tour of his camp. Huge thank you to Vault Fam for letting me share it with all of you. If you've got a crazy camp you want to share, hop down in the comments, let me know. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember to like, sub, and share. Later.